Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this Demystifying CCSK session. And well, apologies because there was a little bit of technical glitch and Vinay's sound is breaking, but no need to break. For all of you, we will have a nice session. And I guess you are all able to hear me good, right? Okay, great. Thank you so much. So this is your host speaker today, Sharbojit Mbose, but people call me Jeet, J-I-T, the last part of my first name, which is easy to remember as just in time. So I'm the director of training for Singapore chapter of Cloud Security Alliance. I'm a founding member there and authorized certified trainer. So without further ado, let me bring you through the agenda for today. So the first is, well, that's my introduction. Then I will talk about cloud history and the milestones and the future in cloud. Then we'll talk about cloud security issues. What are the things? And we'll talk about some incidents that has happened and rocked the world across us. Then I want to bring you to some building blocks of CCSK. Then I know many of you want to ask the question, why CCSK? Why? What is the benefit? What do I gain out of it? So we'll talk about that. And then I guess I will have to hand it over to Vinay, and who will bring you through NovelVista and why NovelVista you should be selecting as your preferred training provider, and why CCSK with Novel Vista. What are the benefit? And then we'll go to the Q&A for you all to ask any questions that you would need to ask. So let's go ahead. And wow, that's me. I don't know whether you can recognize me. Well, I am now here in Singapore. So it is 9:35 my time, but I think it is just after office hours in India. And I guess many of you may be working from home and are still safe and are doing good. So I am a trainer, but that is for the last 6 years mostly. Before that, I have been working in IT for about 25 over years. So that makes about 31 years of experience that I have. And I started in user industry in the 1990, in the year 1990. And so this is about 21 to 31 years almost now. And well, I went to the thick and thin of IT industry, and the time I came in, it was only like the dinosaur age of IT. And then I joined the main industry. I was working for HCL Infosystems, and then I was placed in different projects across the globe. And then I came into Singapore 15 years back and made it my home, and been working in security, in cloud, in compliance, and lately has been as well in data privacy. And well, if you want to know more about me, I will share a little bit more towards the end about my training. So about cloud history. Now, this is about the foundation era of the 60s when computing came, and it kind of shook the world when internet was conceived. And the 70s, 80s were considered the melting point when slowly many of the older companies, they were formed. You know, I don't know whether you have heard or remember about organizations like, Alta Vista or, Netscape, which are no more there, but they were there those days. And then from 1990s, the march began. The email was there, Hotmail and many others started to come in, and things would like to change. But cloud inception started from the early 2000, 2001, 2004, the first thing of cloud. Before that, it was not formally known as cloud, but there were other sessions, and I was also in one of the projects from HP in US when I was there for what they would call in those days as application on taps. And we were working on that. Was a very pet project of Carly Fiorina, if you know her or had heard about her from HP. But then 9/11 changed a lot of things, and so let's move on. And the first generation of cloud was between 2005 to 2011. So when we had the early adopters come in and started to get cloud, and people were talking about it, should we go or not? Is cloud good or not? Then the second generation cloud started to come in from 2012 to about 2017, I would say, when all the cloud things came into the structures, the three kinds of implementation model, and also there were the other kind of cloud which were also available, like the private, public, and the community cloud, and slowly the convergence started to happen. We had hybrid cloud, and beyond 2017, now we have been seeing that there is something which is multi-cloud, and we have as well from 2017 or a bit earlier, not only the APIs, but we also have brokers. And today we are using CASB or Cloud Access Security Broker. And
ये यहाँ से आवाज कम ज्यादा करने का है.
Hello. Maybe can you please get your audio off? Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. Thank you so much. So, well, the main player in cloud has been AWS. So AWS, well, they were not the first one to start. The first one to start is another company, Salesforce.com. And Amazon was there as an e-commerce provider. But then in 2003, one of the engineers who is Benjamin Black, he came up and with another colleague of his, and with Picam, they together were trying to optimize their resources, because they found out that during the holiday season, there was a big rush in e-commerce, and they needed to perk up their resources high. But then at the time when there was not so, and during the holiday season, not holiday season, in the working seasons, there were a lot of resources which are available empty, underutilized. So they made a proposal that if they can offer these services and Jeff Bezos, of course, he took it up, and from 2006, AWS first product was launched. So that's about a bit of the history and a bit more the timeline. If you see here, Salesforce actually come into being and at 1999. Before that, cloud computing was defined first time by Professor Ramanath Chelappa, and later on in 2006, Amazon EC2 was launched, and storage S3 was there. And 2013, the public cloud market grew, and this is a Gartner report that we see here. And again, by 2014, there was a lot of estimated spending that was expected to be growing, and it did grow further on. There was a lot of growth. Now, some milestones to go back, especially on AWS. Not only that, Google also had their part by 2008. 2010, Microsoft started with Azure. 2011, IBM started that smart cloud. 2013, the Docker was introduced. The containerization was there. And 2017, major data centers were build outs in China, and edge computing came in about a year back, and the forecast is the spending will go up to about $420 plus billion in SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS for cloud services by another 3 years' time. So what is the future of cloud? What next? Now, this is also a study which has been done, and that brings out that people expect that beyond 2025 to 2030, there will be a lot of reshuffling between these big major players, okay, who has been capturing the most of the market. And age is new. There will be more such things to come in. And well, when we have quantum computing come in, there could be many other changes. Artificial intelligence engineering, that will be one of the key things in cloud. Multi-cloud and joint cloud providers will be another big leap in the future. Now, we do have a multi-cloud already happening. And so joint providers and serverless is not new, but functions as a service will grow more. That is what these specialists are expecting. And automated orchestration and optimization of cloud. Now that we see Kubernetes and all, and there will be automation of that, and not only the cloud-based infrastructure, but the entire cloud setup can be done much more easily. Now, growth of the SASE. Now, many people call it a little of sassy and saucy, but well, that's okay. And lastly, a perfect storm of data privacy and cloud migration. As we know, the data privacy is upcoming, and a lot of things are happening across. And you may know that in early July, there was an incident that one of the major cloud, sorry, not cloud only, it is a card provider and a credit card payment provider who were debarred by the Indian government because of the breach of some data privacy requirement, especially, you know, of storage of data. So these are the things which are going to make a difference in the future. Now, the cloud issue. Well, it goes without saying that most of us are now working from home. Okay, WFH has become another three-letter word, very common. And not only remote work, it has been, and this is a very current study, which is published in July 2021, that is just a few days earlier by Netscope Threat Labs. So according to them, not only the COVID-19 pandemic as it started last year, till June, working from home is there and it has grown. And if you can see this March time, there was a huge spike. Now, when we are working from home, we are using cloud services. We are using Zoom, we are using Microsoft Teams, even could be Cisco WebEx or any other application tool. And many of the services have been hosted into cloud. Now, the risky web serving. So that is another thing. People, when they're working from home, sometimes they're going and surfing the internet for buying things. And as you know, since a few weeks or about a month now, that the Pegasus thing has rocked India and many other places. Okay, so that is something which is, of course, is a growing concern. Many are talking and asking me, hey, is it that Pegasus is something we should be concerned about? Well, that's not a very big cloud issue. So let us see. The cloud has also been marred by a malware issue, and cloud delivered malware have increased from from last year's March to this year June. From 47%, it has gone all the way up to 68%. And when people are working from home, they have their organization storage attached, and from their machines, they are also accessing Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, and sometimes many organizations do have official OneDrive or Box or many other Gmail on Google Drive, and there it has been and in an intersection. There has been exchange of data between this. Now, some risk that we have seen and what we have observed about cloud versus on-premise security risk. Now, the studies have shown that, of course, 54% of risk breaches have happened on-premise. High risk and low risk are there, about 22% on-prem. So on-prem is also not all secured. But of course, we do have a lot of security issues through cloud. And now that we are talking about hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, so things we are going to be more and more complex. Well, I don't have to remind you about what happened in SolarWinds. Okay, so though primarily it has been coined to be an issue with the supply chain, but today everything that we do is dependent on cloud. So we cannot say that this is also not dependent in cloud. Right. So when we have these issues, then what we can do, we need to say that we have to have a solution where we can have something that can help us to prepare for mitigating the risk, to stop the threats, to track them, and to understand what are the issues we have in cloud today. So CSA Cloud Security Alliance, which was formed some years back, has been doing relentless researches, and it has collaborations and is working on publishing white papers and many other procedures thing, which I was also involved in one of them here of cloud incident response that we worked. So we are talking about, there are a lot of research work going around which are sponsored and which are done by CSA. And they also collaborate with many institutions to come out with a lot of cloud threats. So we do have, actually we used to have the top 12 threats in cloud. Now we stopped it in reason because just giving out the threats does not help. So we are going into research to see how those can be mitigated. And there are a few other things that CSA has come up so that it can make the cloud adoptions more safer, more secure, and even have some standard so that the cloud providers can also ensure that they fulfill a trust mark. And not only that, emerging technologies of blockchain, distributed ledger, IoT, and quantum safe security. Then about DevOps, containers, serverless. So a lot of research, a lot of interesting things are going on at CSA. Threat intelligence, incident response are also very much a part of it. Okay, so if you visit Cloud Security Alliance webpage, you will see under research, all such exciting things are mentioned there. So what they have done is also they have crafted a very wonderful vendor neutral course, which is CCSK, Certificate of Cloud Security Knowledge. Now, this is the only and first vendor neutral till jointly ISC Square and CSA later published the CCSP. But nonetheless, CCSK is still the pioneer, and they have been doing the most research in cloud area. So let me guide you through the CCSK building blocks. So the building blocks that we have in CCSK constitute of four major components. So what are they? The first thing, we have the security guidance. This is like the CBK, the body of knowledge, the version 4 being the current one, which is there. Then they have a cloud control matrix. I will talk about that. They have something called CAIQ and a European report on risk on cloud called the ENISA report. Plus, they have also included this cloud trust mark, trusted cloud provider from CSA. This is called the STAR registry. So to make the students and all the learners be aware of who are the providers and what are their capabilities, this has been also now included in the course. Now, I'm talking about CCM. Now, CCM is basically a matrix, a mapping between the different standards which are there. You know, standards like ISO, COBIT, and we also have NIST standards. We have the internet security, their standards, and many others which are there. Now, one side, we have these 16 cloud control domains, as you see on the top here. And then we have about 133 controls listed. And on the other side, these all standards are available. So it is very easy to find that if I have to fulfill one such control, what are the other standards that help me? Now, I'm not going to go any detail here because these are things that you learn at the course. And of course, this is not the time to talk about this. So I will proceed about the ENISA cloud guidance. This, as I said, from the European Union, they publish the top threats and risk of cloud. So when we are working with cloud, if tomorrow you're working with any provider, and when we are working with Microsoft Azure, maybe today, tomorrow, I may have a job at Google, and another day with someone else, AWS or anyone. But these things remain constant. The threats do not change because of the provider or a major vendor changes. So next thing, that is what I was talking about, the security guidance for cloud computing version 4, which was released in 2017. And it has got a lot of things inside. Now, in total, there are 6 modules, and these modules are containing the 16 domain areas which are there. So it talks about the architecture of cloud, the governance, the operating models in the cloud, the security consideration in the cloud. And then we have the CSA STAR registry, which has got 2 levels. And as you see, there's GDPR self-assessment and cloud, and also the SOC 2 assessment and STAR certification for ISO 27001 as well. So these are the good things that are there from CSA. So, and we have this consensus assessment initiative questionnaire. This is a self-declaration questionnaire from the cloud providers. So when they enlist themselves and they are authorized to be in the STAR registry, then they fill out the questionnaire. So which are questionnaires which normally a cloud consumer would want to know from a provider. So now CSA has made the life of people easy. So if you are looking for provider, don't have to go through a lot of documents, just look into the CAIQ and you will be able to do a better job in selecting providers. So as in the training, we will also talk about this. Now, the next thing, I think, is $1 million question that many people ask. CCSK Foundation or Plus course. Now, I know the CCSK, they do not discourage to go into their site and self-register and go and appear for the exam. Now, if that would have worked out, then would you think there will be training provider across the globe? And would they also authorize training providers like NovelVista to be providers? It seems good. It works for some, but does not work for many and most people. Now, one thing I can tell you, CCSK exam is very tightly controlled exam, even though it is an open book, non-proctored. It seems, wow, I can open and see, but it is not easy. It is difficult, and you need to be sincerely preparing for it, and you need to know the concept well. So you need a good guidance. Now, let us see about the foundation and the CCSK Plus course. Now, well, to pass the exam, you may go into a 2-day in-class, online, whatever. Theory presentations could be good, but whatever you learn through the theory, you would like to know how it feels to be in some lab and do some hands-on. So we have 5 labs, rather 6 labs, 5 hands-on lab and 1 a bit on the risk management, how to select a specific vendor. So this is an AWS lab. So, and they will also have labs for Azure and other platforms as well. So this gives you a foretaste of how a cloud actually works. Whatever you learn, that how to use the control plane, how to make sure that you are creating the identities and the certificates. Then how do we create instances? How do we do the security groups? How do we do control the blast radius? How do we do different other things like having servers, having instances, and have workloads created in the cloud? And how do we use different tools in the cloud? Now, this is a foretaste, so it is not a very detailed one, but the 3rd day is the most interesting thing in this, the 3-day sessions that are there. And it will give you a good exposure to do the hands-on of what you learned through on the first 2 days. And I can tell you that, you know, the learning is best when you practice it out. So I have been training a lot, and I've seen across the globe. I have even trained in India through some other provider. I've trained in Dubai, in Asia, this side, in Singapore, and the Asia Pac region. People do get excited when we have labs. So I can tell you, okay, that this is interesting to do the CCSK. So these are the 16 domain areas, and you see in the last 2 are actually the CCM and ENISA recommendations. And we do cover a lot in governance area, management, security, virtualization, incident and application, encryption, and security service, new related technologies. This is the way to go in the future. And these are the 6 the modules, the way the course is structured. So in these modules, all the 16 domains are covered. Now, this is a slide on the lab. So there are the 6 labs. This is the one which is on the risk and assessment, but these are the hands-on actual labs, the account security, the IAM, the monitoring, the network, instance creation, encryption, storage handling, application, and federated identity. You will be able to use this federated identity and get someone authenticated using an OpenID Connect, right? So next, what we have is, this is another glimpse of the lab. What are the basic ingredients inside. So it starts with securing, getting a root account and securing it up to configuring VPC and more. So these are the 6 labs. And the last lab helps you to understand how to assess and how to select a service provider. Because many of you may need to do that in the future in your job. So this is, I can guarantee you, what will be exciting in the 3 days. Now, when you come to CCSK original, properly, proper course, I mean to say, through a proper provider and a trainer. Now, you not only get these CSS security guidance, ENISA report, cloud security, and CAIQ, you will also get this Foundation Student Handbook. Now, which is not available as free, which is only coming if you are registering to an official course. This is a deck, this is a PDF of the slide deck that we trainers use. So this will help you to guide along as I teach and train. Now, sometimes you may get this, sometimes you may get this, but many people do not understand if they're self-training themselves, how to use CCM. What is CAIQ? What good is ENISA report for? Now, you may go through this, but you may have difficulty for sure when working on this area. And let me remind you one thing, CCSK exam do not provide any practice of, CSA do not provide any practice or suggestive question answer. Only some authorized providers like NovelVista, they would have some simulation tool to help you to prepare and practice. So this is the kind of a certificate you may get after you pass, but also if you register with NovelVista, you will also get a attendance certificate for the 3 days. Now, many of you who may want to take a leave from work or later want to show at least that you have gone through the course, if you do it just on your own or from some unauthorized service provider, you will not be receiving that certificate. Now, if you pass the exam, anyone is entitled for this certificate for sure. Now, that is not dependent upon the training provider. Now, what is there after I do CCSK? Now, by the way, CCSK does not require you to have any number of years of experience or something. As long as you have some idea, some experience in cloud, and you are able to sustain through the training. Okay, you have an overall idea about security and cloud and other things, you will be able to go for the exam. No one will stop you, and it has no expiry. It has no expiry. This is a building block. Now, in future, you can go for more like CCAK, that is auditing, advanced cloud security practitioner, which is coming soon. And then there is a GDPR auditor consulting training. Now, this may not be relevant in India, but again, you never know. You may be working for a European organization tomorrow, or you may get a job out there. So who knows, right? So you may equip yourself for the future and stay with CSA. Now, why CSA? Now, CSA official, trained by a CSA accredited trainer. Now, I will show you that, or if you want to still go and search by my name, you will see that under CSA, I am listed. Okay, trained under an authorized training provider, which you know NovelVista is. You can also search them and you will find them listed in the CSA website. Now, CSA issued training completion certificate I just mentioned. Of course, your success of the CCSK certification is more assured. because of the guidance, because of the after, training support that NovelVista provides. It will be better. Confirm official and current student exam pack. Of course, that's what I just told you, and especially the PDF file. Now, you will not be alone in your work with CSA, CCSK, because NovelVista is there. And if you need special consultancy, well, I can be made available as well. And I'm planning to hold even boot camps in the future. And not only that, having a monthly training with NovelVista, but we can offer boot camps for those who may need it. And of course, mock exam and tips and tricks to pass the CCSK from NovelVista. So how good is that? I think you would all want to have that. Now, what is it for me in CCSK? What do I benefit? Okay. So CCSK, then you want to go for a CCAK, you also would need the CCSK first. Then you can prove your competency, you can increase your marketability, you can, of course, demonstrate your technical knowledge and capability, and you can have a solid baseline of your capability, of your professional, the professional capabilities that you have, and complement with other credentials like CCA, KCI, SACI, SSP, CCSP, and many more are there. Okay, so this is something which is, if it may not be very relevant with Indian context, but this is done by, this was provided by HP, and they have mentioned that how much CCSK, the earning potential in US. Well, I did not get any figure out of India, but I think it won't be bad as well. Now, here is about myself a little bit more. If you want to know more about me, this is the QR code for my LinkedIn. Now, I train, as you see, not only CCSK, but many other certificates. I'm also only certified trainer for NIST, cybersecurity standards in Asia. So, and I am also a DevOps Institute certified trainer. I train for ITL. I am a PMP certified and Prince2. I do train in PMP. And I do other kind of works. And well, if you see what is CIPT, these are privacy related Singapore context. CIPT is, of course, international from IAPP. I'm also will be going in for CIPM, the privacy project program management. And of course, I train CISSP as well. Now, I am a founding member of the CSA Singapore chapter, and as well, I speak in conferences. Last week, I spoke one smart cybersecurity conference, and I will be speaking in more in the near future. So apart from training, that's all I do. Now, about NovelVista. So I would call someone from NovelVista to come. So who is coming, please? Is Vinay joining us? Oh, hi, Vinay. Yeah, it's Vinay. All over. You want me to give you the remote control?
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are very good audible now.
That's it. I think there are just a couple of slides. I'll request you to change. Can I move them?
Fine, no problem.
Yeah. So hello everyone. Sorry about the initial glitch because of some technical reasons. I'll briefly tell you about NovelVista. We are almost 9-year-old organization where our core forte is most of the training and certification oriented programs for IT professionals. Other than the certification programs, we do a lot of technical trainings on cloud, DevOps, security tools, and various other tools. So our overall portfolio has more than 1,500 training programs in our portfolio. Yeah. So some of our achievements, as mentioned here, we have certified more than 50,000 professionals across various global certification programs. Reskilled professional means where people who might be like working in a BPO, they want to get into service desk, that kind of environment, or maybe a people who are working on mainframe, they want to upgrade. So through corporate engagements and our own retail business, we have done the reskilling of 20,000 plus professionals. Millennials upskill means where we do a lot of fresher onboarding program for the corporates, where they hire the freshers, they get them trained through us so that they become project ready. So again, a good number there. Then on a niche skills like AI, ML, data science, and various niche skills, we have trained many participants. We also work in a higher train deploy model with a lot of corporates. Some of our major customers are like Accenture, TCS, Capgemini, and there are many other clients where we work in this model. And one of the very important thing that we do and we proudly say is we believe in knowledge sharing sessions. So we do host a lot of sessions, webinars, conferences, and so far more than 40,000 plus professionals must have benefited through the complimentary bootcamp kind of sessions. So talking about our associations, as you can see here, we are like authorized partners with almost all major certification governing bodies like Exine, DOI, PeopleCert, GSDC, Excelos, Microsoft, AWS also we are consulting partner, right? CompTIA, EC Council, there are various, APMG and all. Key clientele, I think you name it, and we are preferred partner there. So we work closely with all these major corporates, Accenture, TCS, Volkswagen, Cognizant, and from all industry, across the industries like service providers, product companies, manufacturing sector, then a banking sector, government organizations. So we are serving them from a long time, and we have a very strong relationship with all major corporates. So that was a brief about NovelVista, what we do. Our overall, if you see in our open batches, we have a very strong training portfolio on service management, where we offer regular trainings on ITIL, ITIL higher modules, then SIAM. Then we also do a lot of trainings on cloud, specifically on AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, then DevOps tools, as well as the framework methodology, the certification part of the DevOps, then on Six Sigma, ISO, yeah, and we are expanding our portfolio, so you can find all the courses which we offer on our website with the most up-to-date training calendars. So that's a brief about NovelVista. Sarbojit, request you to go to next slide. I'll quickly talk about why you should choose NovelVista for your CCSK requirement or for any other cloud security training kind of requirement. So here specifically for CCS, you see we are authorized training organization, as this has been previously mentioned by Sarbojit also, with Cloud Security Alliance. We deliver quality training only through official and highly experienced trainers. So here we have seen what kind of experience Sarbojit has got. We are proud to say that in our training batches, we have achieved a very high passing rate. So through rigorous teaching, good quality teaching, and mock examinations that we provide, tips and tricks the trainers share, this ensures the high passing rate. Definitely there is a maximum value for money with our competitive pricing. So if you go and do some pricing analysis between the providers, you will find NovelVista most competitive, right? So that is again where we have a price match challenge as well. So we are very sure without compromising on any of the quality parameters, we will provide you maximum value for money. We provide you mock examination access via online platforms. So these are not simply dumps or something that we share. These are configured in an actual examination manner where you get access to our online platform for taking your mock examination. So you get the same feeling as your actual examination and you are better prepared to clear these examinations. We will not just stop at the training and once we deliver our training, our job is done. No, it's not like that. We maintain very good post-training association. So One of the points which Sarbojit has also mentioned is the regular boot camps we can do. So similarly, we do a lot of knowledge sharing sessions. We have multiple job groups on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, where people get benefited if they are looking for change or if they have any requirement in their projects. We have seen many people have benefited through our job groups. There are a lot of networking opportunities for people who have demonstrated speaking skills. They have a very good speaking skill, opportunities as well if they are SME on a place. So a lot of other things which we do as a part of our post-training association. So these are some of the things why you should choose us. I'll quickly tell you like, how is our schedule for this one. Sir, if you can just go to next slide. Yeah, so generally we plan one confirm batch every month. So every month you will find one confirm batch of a 3-day schedule. Our August batch dates are 7th, 14th and 21st. So we have planned this during weekends on 3 Saturdays, batch starting from coming Saturday. Yeah. So if you have a group, if there are more than 3-4 people who are interested to do it as per their preferred schedule, we are always open for that. You can connect with us and we can discuss on the possibility of having a batch schedule, a preferred schedule. Yeah. So this is it about the NovelVista, the overall USPs that I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So I think now we have like around 10-12 minutes. So we can open the floor for the questions. So I think if you have any questions, you just type it in the chat box. I'll read it out for the Sarbojit sir and he can answer that.
Sure. We'll be delighted.
So, Sarbojit, we have a first question from Mr. Yeah. So we have first question from Mr. Yusuf Raza. He's just asking how many months will it take to pass the CCS exam? So after the training, how much time generally is required to prepare for the exam and pass the exam? What is your recommendation on this one?
Right. For any kind of training, what is suggested is after the training, you should not let 90 days pass, because when you come to a training, you give some time and effort, and then you learn something, it is in your memory. And as time go by, your memory will fade. That is a standard thing. So if you can do it within 2 months, will be the best thing. Now, will that require some effort? Well, nothing is free, or there is no substitute of hard work. If you give time over weekend and sometime in the evening, it is possible, very much possible to pass first time. Yes, first time, but you should be prepared and you need guidance for that. You must have a strategy as well. Hi, thank you so much. Yeah, any other question?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
I'm Kumaran, mainframe trainer. You said 6 models, sir.
Sorry, which models?
My name is Kumaran from Chennai.
Yeah, sure.
I am one of the freelancer trainer for after 15 years. Okay. I'm interested to learn out of this. Which one is related to mainframe or you said 6 models, right? 6 models are there.
6 models. Modules are there. Yes.
Modules, sir. 6 modules are there.
Yeah. For mainframe, cloud in mainframe. Well, sorry, cloud is about virtualization. I haven't heard of mainframes being virtualized yet. Have you heard of it?
No.
So can you restate your question? What exactly you would want to know?
I want to know which actually.
Subhajit, what he's trying to make out here is he's a mainframe trainer.
Right.
Correct.
How beneficial will be CCSK for him learning CCSK from mainframe point of view?
Well, if you are looking to stay in mainframe, well, then of course cloud is not doesn't go with CCS. I mean, doesn't go with mainframe, right? So you have to talk about grid computing and other things perhaps. But if you come into towards the cloud forte, which is something which is growing and booming, and that will be the next generation of computing. Well, it is almost there.
Okay.
So in that case, you can find an alternate, because I don't know how long mainframe, you are doing a training.
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
in
will
training
be,
past 18 years, sir, from 2002 to till date. I'm delivering
Great.
only mainframe application, administration, and DB to DBA.
Okay.
Okay.
So is there still a demand for those things as before
very
when you
few,
started?
the middle is very down, between 15, 10, 11, and 15, 16, 17, and all down. 19 onwards, so somewhat okay.
Okay. Yeah.
My question is, you are in this field for 15 years now. So like that, if I learned this model mean the next 10 years I can easily survive, right? Instead of mainframe.
Okay, just going through one certification exam, you cannot be a trainer. You need to have a train the trainer and few other things, so that you can be a trainer. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Jeet, this is Swapnil here. I have a question to you. Jeet,
Sir, so in the interest of time, Kumaran.
Sorry, can any one person speak at a time?
Jeet,
then I can hear.
Okay,
Yes,
so
please.
I just have a simple question. Who can learn CCSK? Anybody who comes from a non-technical background, will it be easy for him to learn it, or it is only meant for people who are having a technical background to learn about CCSK?
Oh, great question. Now, if people in the technical realm, of course, CCSK will be very easy for them because they have some concepts ready. But if you are from a non-technical background, is it not possible? Possible. But you have to do a bit of hard work to bridge the gap that you have, in the technical areas, because it will require you to know few things. When we do the labs, then we talk about connecting to host and how to use a SSH connection, how to have connect to our, storage, and how to get the mount points, and how to run some of these Unix commands, a few, not all, just a few more. And then also having an idea about security group, which is a concept of firewall. Then talking about VAPT, vulnerability checking. So there are tools that we will be running. And also when we talk about creating VM, so for the instance, how to get it up, and what are the things we need to configure. So you will have to do some preparation work, so you are able to catch hold of all these concept. So it is possible, not impossible, but it is easy. Again, no, it is hard, but if you are ready to put up, that extra effort.
Okay, thank you, Jeet, for your answer.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, any tools or a software provider, are you providing to connect the cloud? In mainframe, we are installing one emulator in a local system, and through emulator connect the mainframe server. So like that, cloud, any tool?
Cloud, you don't need a software. Do you have a Gmail account?
Yes, that and all okay.
Yeah, so if you have a Gmail account, you are already connecting to a cloud service, right?
My question.
Hey, Jeet.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeet, this is Ajay here. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah, so Kumaran, request you to, yeah. Yes, Ajay, yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, please.
So my question is this course is only relevant for the individual who is looking for the implementation point of view, or for the individual who is also the part of the decision making?
this is for decision making as well. Now, it is not only for the provider, it is also for the consumer. Okay, as a consumer, if you, because as I said, there is a part of governance there, you know, governance compliance, so which is of course very much a managerial component.
Got it.
So yes.
So suppose if I'm asking for a bid from a different service provider, so this course will help me to choose the right service provider.
Yes, you will be exposed to the CIQ Star Registry and how to use the CCM. And of course, the Lab 6 is about how it's a mock thing that you are asked to choose and rationalize a provider.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sarvojit Sayyed Yusuf Raza here. So I have a question for you. I am currently working in cybersecurity domain, basically taking care of security operation, and my tool is basically SIM. So after doing this CCSK, how my current experience and knowledge will assist me, and how CSSK, that certification, will help me to make my career. Like, what is the relation between? Is there any relation in this between two?
Now that you are working, are you working on now SI? You are using SIEM, right?
Yes, I'm using SIEM as a security monitoring tool event for threat detection.
I know, I am aware of it. I trained CISSP, so very much. Thank you. So you are using, is it an on-prem or a cloud service?
No, it is on-prem. We have on-prem SIEM.
You have an on-premise SIEM. Wow,
yeah.
That is very costly. Your employer must be, you know, very. So great. Now you are working on cyber security threat. Now threats come from in the cyberspace, and cloud is the major component in the cyberspace today. Okay, you are using a threat detection. Right now, your threats can come from many sources, and you may be also using more and more cloud-dependent tools as well.
Yeah,
even your SIEM can be a cloud tool tomorrow. No one knows, because many people are going to reduce the cost of having an on-premise infrastructure there. All right. Now, if I may also ask you, what kind of an industry you come from?
So basically, I'm working for one of the service provider, like cyber security consultancy firm.
Okay.
And I'm providing services to financial, institution.
Okay.
So it's been very vast experience. I have worked for previous organization as well. So,
okay, great. Thank you. So for banking or anything else, tomorrow you may not be with this customer. You may be moving on to another customer using another different. Now, today, whenever you go, your bank also uses a lot of cloud dependent tools. And of course, you are using, what you're providing is managed services, right?
Yes.
Your organization provides managed services. So now the managed services can tomorrow be over cloud as well. Now, if you have, if you go for a certification for Azure or Google or AWS, the thing is you only learn to operate that environment and only that environment. But if you get a job in any other environment, again, you have to start from all the scratch. Now, here the thing is, this is about the fundamentals, concepts, and theories, and how you should be able to secure a cloud environment, a cloud architecture, right? So that will give you those basic things. Now, whatever job you do now or in future, of course, you can use it if there's a chance. Now, you never know that tomorrow things will not move into cloud for your SIEM or anything, or tomorrow you may be going into another a different customer who uses only cloud. So in that case, you are ready. If you have this certification, you are ready. They will know your competency and say, yeah, we need a cloud engineer, he can start. Then a tool you can pick up, right? So here you know the concepts of cloud. Every cloud provider, the concepts are same. the names are different, you know. So it doesn't matter what is the backend provider or what the platform they're using. They can use Alibaba Cloud, they can use Google Cloud, they can use any other cloud, doesn't matter. What matters is if you know the concept, you can do anything.
Okay, thank you. And second thing, I just need to know, what is the difference between CCSP and CCSK certification, and which one has more demand, in the market? So, like from the content wide, from the knowledge perspective, what is the difference? And if I will go for the job in the market, which one holding, good demand in terms of remuneration?
Okay. I train in both, but well, I can say that at this point in time, if I have to explain all this thing, it will be another half an hour session, because I do this kind of things in many places to say. But I can tell you, both CCSK and CCSP, both have been, the CSA has been behind both. ISC Square is the one who is branding for, and they are actually bringing it on, but behind the scene, the contributors and things are from our Cloud Security Alliance. Now, they have looked into a different way, they have presented it different way. Their exam engine and things are a bit different, because that is from ISC Square. They have their own branding. Right, thank you. Next, please.
Hello, sir. Amar here. Sir,
yes,
I wanted to ask that there are basically three market leaders in cloud. If we say Google, Microsoft.
Sorry, your voice is breaking up. Your voice is breaking up. I can hardly understand.
Is it audible now, sir?
Yeah, better. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, when we look at the market, there are three major players in cloud like Amazon, Google, and Azure. So when it comes to security part, basically because you are teaching cloud security for such a long time, which one is more secured, or which cloud service provider is just a minute.
So when you say which one is more secured, now the thing is, if I have to tell you within banana, apple, or orange, which is the best fruit, how do you choose?
Yeah, that is true. But recently, we have heard reports that AWS has been fined for around like $800 million odd for GDPR security breach, right?
Yeah. Do you know why that happened?
No, I don't know why.
Yeah. So see, the things are, there are a lot of things. And do you use Yahoo email?
Yes.
Do you know Yahoo has been breached 15 years back and they're still paying?
Okay.
So these things happen. Paying off a breach is not a big deal, because things happen. Now, here is not the place to talk and discuss and tell you why it happened, how it happened. That's a different forum. If I'm speaking in one of the conferences, you can come and join perhaps. But the thing is, I would say that here we are trying to see a cloud course. Now, if you say which provider is more secured, then I think we'll need to have a separate discussion and understand your perspective.
Sir, when it comes to, let's say, bank, in India, like let's say when it comes to critical infrastructure, for example, let's say net banking or all this stuff, still they are these banks are still unable to go to cloud because of the RBI policies. That's why I was asking the question, like how safe or secure is the cloud? Whether we should migrate our critical applications behind cloud, or does it require to be evolved more?
Today that we are talking here, how are we doing it? It is a cloud service, Zoom, right? Now, your banks are not able to go into cloud because of RBI policy that you said, right?
Yes.
So it is not about cloud problem. It is your RBI policy that is stopping them. Now you say RBI is stopping because of cloud. No, worldwide, you must come out and see. In many countries, including Singapore, banks are allowed to be in cloud.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are in cloud. They're using a lot of cloud. Private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud. A lot of things are coming. There is something in Singapore called MTCS, multi-tier cloud security. So there are these things you must have, like for CSA, we have, and why I'm talking about MTCS, because CSA, we have a star registry, which I told, and MTCS are cross-certifiable. So if any bank in Singapore wants to have cloud, they can get star registry certified, and or if they are already the provider is already star registry provider, then that provider is also considered to be a MTCS. And if they're MTCS, which is the government sponsored or government accredited, then they do not have a problem. So it is not about cloud is insecure, or it is not about anything else in the cloud problem. It is policymakers' skin.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sarvajit, I have one more question to you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so like the exam will be totally practical based, or it will be like CISSP objective based? Like what will be the ratio?
No, this exam is a totally theory exam, MCQ. But it is, again, it has differences from CISSP. CISSP is difficult, but it has MCQs of 4 choices. Here you may have MCQ'd with 6 choices, and there will be some questions where say select all that apply. So you may have to select, if there are 5 choices, you may have to select 3 to 4, you don't know. If you do not select one, your answer is wrong. So it has got its own merits and demerits and own strengths or own hardness, if I would say. CISSP has something different. This one has its own. I mean, remember, this is an open book. So they allow you to open, you can open all the materials in front of you.
Okay.
So they do put some other challenge.
I have one question actually.
Yeah, sure.
This. Yeah. Does it necessary to have a cloud knowledge for CCSK?
CCSK is teaching you cloud. So if you already have a cloud knowledge, then why you need CCSK? And if you say cloud knowledge, what kind of a cloud knowledge?
I mean, like public cloud knowledge, like AWS, Azure, or GCP.
You can have the knowledge that is on that particular platform, and that is for those tools, right? Now, if you're having a thing on GCP, can you use the same knowledge in AWS?
The concept are same, basically.
Yeah, concept are same.
Tools are different, namings are different, naming conventions are different. But VMs are VMs for all 3 public clouds, right?
Of course, that's what I'm saying here. That CCSK is talking about the cloud infrastructure, component, application, the control plane, and all these things, and how to secure them, how to work with them. So when you go to these providers, they have different certification of a cloud engineer, cloud provider, cloud security, cloud administrator, cloud. They have many because, of course, they are there for commercialization. CSA is not a commercial organization. It has been formed to preach and teach and to further the knowledge of cloud. And the main thing that we do is research and then training based on research. So,
and one more question yeah, I have, is any practicals involved in CCSK, like in Azure or Azure security, like AWS?
The exam, like no, because their Azure and whoever, they want you to know their tool. So the practical is the only way, mostly. Here, you know about the theory, then you do one-day lab, which I said the interesting part, right? Which all of you would love, putting hands-on in Azure. Now, that is just to see whatever you learned that can actually be put into work. Examination is not, because the exam is to take your knowledge on that security concepts and theories and how you have actually been able to know how to implement those knowledge. It is not requiring you to do exam labs.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, sir,
Yeah,
my
sure.
name is Prateek, and so I have like close to 12 years of experience working in this cybersecurity background. And currently I'm working as a cloud security consultant with one of the, the major cloud provider and virtual machine provider, VMware.
Right. Okay.
So I'm currently working on AWS, GCP, and as well as on Kubernetes into the security background itself. So just wanted to understand like what value CCSK will add into my profile, because I'm already working in the cloud security and the cloud platform from almost like last 4.5 years.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, again, it depends on your objective. Well, you said cloud security, and there are a few things, and you are into VMware. Now, I know VMware, I have used VMware solution, is the basic tool for virtualization, right? Now, VMware has also moved into cloud. And one of the big engineers from in VMware who has been featured in France also, I know he's from Singapore, Ricardo Ang, a good friend of mine. We have once we had worked together for an SI. So the thing is, VMware, what they provide is basically one of the blocks of cloud. Now, you are working for VMware, and then when you say you are using the two providers and Kubernetes. Now, Kubernetes is a Docker instance generator.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what you do, but if you are maybe, are you researching or are you doing something that whenever VMware is going to implement solutions, then on those platforms, so do you provide consultancy to your customers when they are?
So me and my team, like, so we are like only two people entire over the world with VMware who works on specific threat research and the gap analysis. So what we do, we go ahead and we do all the threat research on any cloud services, whatever services or application which VMware is building right now and hosted on cloud, anything. So what we do the research on those services, and we analyze, do the analyzation on the threat perspective, and then accordingly we're gonna go in and talk to the architecture team if there is any kind of a gap that needs to be filled out, that we will do that. We are doing that, and then we are doing the log onboarding into the corporate SIEM platform. So in case if like SOC is missing some kind of a log specific to any application, which we go ahead and we take care of it, and we just provide those logs from those services to the SOC, so that SOC and the threat researchers and the red team can go ahead and do the analysis from their end. So this is exactly what my major work is.
Great, good to know that. Well, in that case, well, I would say you're already an advance. In that case, you may want to consider other certification, but CCSK, again, I don't know what is your base. Now, you have a work experience, okay? You have a work experience, which I understand, of course, there is no denial about that. Yep. But tomorrow, if you're looking for a specific, new position on something, and today's world, is talking about certification. Now, certifications are not to gain knowledge. They are actually to say or to accredit your knowledge baseline. Yes. Because you have a certification, it says your knowledge is minimum this. Yes. So for you, it can be one of that when you tomorrow go for a better opportunity, then if they ask you what are the certifications you have in cloud, so I don't know, you may have a few, then you can say, yeah, CCSK as well. So then they know you as a cloud security practitioner, what is the minimum baseline you have?
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please. Anything more?
So just one another thing. So do you
Yeah.
think the knowledge of like, because I have good exposure to AWS and Kubernetes both, so this will help in order to like clearing this certification. I'm definitely sure that it is not that easy, which what people may be referring to. But do you think that it will be a little bit added advantage if someone has a knowledge of at least one or two the cloud provider knowledge and the certification?
Yeah, of course. Why not? Why not? And well, but again, to say that your hands-on knowledge, because as I said, the exam do not require practical lab.
Yep.
Okay. So your practical experience that you have is much more beyond that we will do, because we will do only the kind of basic things. And because that is, again, in a free tier, right? Because for, for you people, if we have to suggest something bigger, and if that costs, then that will be, of course, not a profitable way for learners to come and learn by paying AWS additional fees. So for you, you may have done the lab, the practical on the platforms much ahead of what we will talk about. But as I said, the exam has its own standard.
Okay. And what exactly is the exam way? Like, is it an online one?
Yeah, it's an online one.
Questions.
As I said, it's an online. In today's world, there's no exam which is, and you don't have to go to a center. It is from your home.
All right.
Not only online, it is a home. And as I repeat myself, non-proctored open book.
Okay.
All right.
All right, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
Great.
for the answers.
Yeah. Thanks for the question there. Yes. Anyone? You have any more questions from anyone who wants to know why CCSK?
What is the cost of this course? Does it include the certification?
Sorry, what is the?
Does the cost of the course?
The cost of certificate. Well, for commercials, maybe you want to get in touch with the NovelVista. For that, I think Vinay and his team will be more than happy to talk about commercials. Anything non-commercial, shoot it to me. Commercials, please.
Sarbojit, can you let me know? Can you let me know, like the lab is provided only for one day, or is an extended validity of the lab so that we can practice, later on for at least for some months? It is how it is.
You can practice anytime, provided as long as it is free. But if AWS starts charging, then we would suggest you that quickly delete your log instances and recreate it. Because the account is free created, I mean, right? And there are some templates which you will be using. And once you create those things, once I give you from where to pick up, you can have it for your life.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no restriction.
Okay, so it depends upon AWS or Azure when they will start charging. Until now, we can practice, free of charge.
Yes.
I mean to say.
Yes.
So nothing is specific timeline like for
No.
one month or something.
No. Nothing from CSA side. No restriction. If you want to pay, you can get it for life.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And sir, the batch details which is mentioned here. So like you've mentioned that it is going to be a 3-day training.
Yeah,
so
right.
Like if the batch starts at 7th, which is a Saturday, so is it like 7th, 8th, and 9th are going to be the training days, or it's just like 7th, 14th,
Saturdays, right?
Only Saturdays. Okay.
Yeah, 7th, 14th, and 21st.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Awesome. Any more?
No. Yeah. Okay, Sarbojit, I think already. I can take a couple of last questions if we have. I see some of the FAQs are towards the commercials. So hello everyone, we will share email with the schedule, our standard price and a discounted offer that we have for this month in a follow-up email tomorrow morning. So everyone will receive an email with the best discounted commercial along with the registration process if you are interested to join this.
Okay, okay, thank you.
And one more thing
Thanks.
I need to ask you. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I mean, is there any book has to be referred, or is it, or it
The
will be provided
materials
from
will be provided to you. And as I said, there is one material which is provided only by the authorized training provider. And the rest are available from CSA for free, but as a package, I will provide for all the trainees.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
One last question. Can it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So just to reiterate please go ahead, Gaurav. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So my question is like I am from the SAP
Yes, Gaurav.
security. I am from the SAP security background. So yeah, and currently I'm working in SAP identity management area. So although that SAP identity management is also on the cloud-based solution. So, but how relevant this will be for my SAP stream? Like, will I need to change totally my competency, or will I? Is it how it will be helpful for me?
Okay, again, for you, what I would say, again, it's your career objective. If you want to continue with the SAP, why not? Now, again, when you are saying you are working in identity management in SAP and in cloud, so you are working on HANA, right?
Yeah, it's not moved to cloud yet. Right now on the on-premise itself, but yeah, we have a plan to move from IDM to SailPoint, which is a cloud-based solution.
Right.
So,
no, what I know is SAP already provides HANA, which is a cloud-based
correct,
service.
yeah.
It's already there.
Correct.
Now, what you are saying is you will be moving a base infrastructure from on-prem and move everything to a cloud-based. So your SAP's backend will not be on-prem anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So if that be the case, all of you would have to have a competency in cloud. Because not only your IAM, your entire working process and then also how you integrate with other things. Because when you do IAM, you already are working in SSO, you're working with federated identity, right?
Yeah.
You are using SAML.
Yes.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, this is something to complement and supplement to your job today. And then I would talk to everyone on this. That is why you are only thinking about your job today. Why not think about tomorrow? Because you have to be skilled for tomorrow. Yes. For today, you're already skilled and you're already doing something, right? Now, if you are not ready for tomorrow, when the disruption happens tomorrow, then what will be there? What will happen? And every job area, sector area, there will be heavily automation and robotics coming in the next 5 to 10 years time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So if you are into something which is repetitive work, and rest assured, I'm not being sarcastic or I'm not trying to scare you, that job will be going to a robot.
Yeah, that's what is happening right now at this stage also. The things which are monotonous and the same thing which are repeated.
Yeah.
So that things are getting, already we have the UI path is implemented, and through robotics automation, the requests are getting processed now.
So
yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that is the point.
Okay.
So get yourself equipped, get yourself, you want to know another martial art, well, to fight for tomorrow's life war or life, life is difficult, I know. It is not fair with anyone. It is unfair with everyone.
Yeah, right.
Right. So be prepared for the worst so you can sail through. And I know everywhere, including in India, everywhere, things are getting tougher and tougher. And then this COVID and all this thing has made it even worse.
Exactly.
So that's the point.